Hey everybody, we are back.
We're back.
Sorry, we our power went out, and I don't have the battery pack hooked up to my internet, and so we're going to make sure we get that hooked up. But my power went out for no good reason, which is I just love our power company here, and I mean that with all sarcasm. It's a bright sunny day here in Florida, but for some reason the power went out, and we get that a lot here. But anyway, the power went out and we lost our internet connection, and so we've been rebooting. But we are back. Hopefully we can get everybody back.
Yeah, so the question I was in the middle of asking was thanks for all your wisdom and courses you've provided. In The Lion King, apparently Mufasa's death was way more emotional in the test screening. Do you know just how different it was?
No, I don't know that it was more emotional. It could have been the score, because I know I always felt like we lost a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I love Hans Zimmer. It's funny because we were using two Hans Zimmer scores. I think he did the Mission as well. But in the originally in the when we had the temporary score on there, we used music from the Mission, and it was just perfect. And yeah, and when they wrote the new score, the original score for Lion King, I think maybe a little bit was lost in the from one to the other. That's the only thing I can think of, because obviously the animation was the same. But I did feel, because I got really used to, while we were making the film, I got really used to the temporary score, and I always felt like we lost a little bit with the new score. Just a touch.
And Casper says, "Hi, Aaron. How was your weekend?"
The weekend was wonderfully relaxing. We've been just go for the last 3 months, and this past weekend I got to just kind of relax, and it felt great. My wife and I went to hold on a second here. We went out to City Walk, had a little lunch at the Hard Rock Cafe, and then we went and saw The Menu, which if you guys, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but that movie is crazy. It is crazy. And it was really good filmmaking. It's a little graphic, like I said, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it was a heck of a play, I'll tell you. I just found a spot where I didn't. There we go. Gotta put that other back leg in there. There we go. There we go.
Have either of you watched 1899? That's pretty interesting.
I've been trying to watch it. I started to watch it, and I'm having a little hard time getting into it. But to be honest with you, I fell asleep watching the first episode. Not because it was boring. I think just because I was tired. But my wife Vedanta, she wasn't interested in it when I was trying to watch it, and so I ended up changing the channel. I'm just going to come back to it and watch it another time. But I do find it intriguing for sure.
And just like that, we're all out of question.
Are you looking at the other platforms as well?
Nick has been sending me those questions. Did you see the new Matilda the musical movie?
No. And I tried to watch the one with Will Ferrell, the Christmas Carol.
Oh, the Spirited, or
Yeah, with him and Ryan Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Sorry, man, couldn't get through it. Couldn't get through it. I love those guys.
And you just, like mixing Deadpool and Elf is kind of a weird mix.
To me, it's not even that. It was the breaking into song every minute.
Yeah, the original Matilda was Danny DeVito. That's the one I really like.
Yeah.
Jules Abbott comments saying, I watched the behind the scenes stuff from Brother Bear the other night. I barely recognized you. Your hair was amazing.
Yes, they called us Brother Hair back then.
Brother Hair.
I had fine golden locks. And I weighed about 100 pounds less.
Twitch question: do you use reference or you draw from with your mind?
Well, it depends on what I'm doing. Like for this animation, I'm doing this from my head. But I use reference when I need to. I draw from my mind a lot.
Any advice for acting?
Yeah, you got to put yourself in it. Make it honest. That's the feel it. Put yourself there. Feel it.
You gotta feel it. You gotta feel it while you peel it.
Yeah, a lot of people, especially in animation, they tend to they get so caught up in the mechanics of something that the acting comes off very stale and very stiff. Not even stiff; it's overacted because they feel like they have to move the character. And when you're really honest with the acting and really act it out the way it should be acted, you'll find that. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out here. You'll find that sometimes you don't need to move your character much at all in order to get the idea across. And that's what I mean being honest with what it is that you're trying to do in the acting. I'm going to go back to this drawing right here.
How would you describe Tex Avery's and Chuck Jones's short films?
How would I describe them?
Yes.
Broad. They're very broad. In a good way. Broad fun. So what I'm doing right now is I'm moving this in between a little closer. There, so we're not so harsh in the head change, direction change.
YouTube question. Hi, Aaron.
Hello.
Any tips on how light affects colors if I'm painting with oil paints?
Well, you got to look at life. Yeah, light does affect color. There's the temperature, there's bounced light, there's all kinds of factors that affect how light affects color. I've got a whole course on that on my website, Painting Light. I teach it digitally. I'm using digital means, but it also applies to traditional means as well. So I recommend it. I mean, there's a whole, I can't answer that question completely now because, I mean, that's a whole course on how light affects color. There we go. All right, now I'm back. Now I'm back to where I need to be.
Which is your favorite Bond film?
My favorite Bond film?
Yes, James Bond.
I don't know that I have a favorite. That's hard to say. Let's just see how we're looking here. That's not too bad once I see it in context. It was a little funky, I thought, in the way the head was changing, but in context with everything else, it's all right. I don't know. The last three have been really great. I think the last one is probably one of my favorites. I really took it to the end of the line. All right. We're getting there.
YouTube question: on a future live stream, can you demonstrate different methods in drawing the Maasai?
Drawing the Maasai? The Maasai people?
I believe so.
Different methods. I can draw some Maasai. We'll do a Maasai portrait at some point. I guess we can do that. I don't know that there's methods in drawing the Maasai. It's drawing the Maasai. Now, if you're talking about methods in doing portraiture, there's that. Sure. I would love to do that.
And Twitch question: do you have any advice for someone who's drawn a lot but has difficulties transferring to painting?
Yeah, I mean the difficulty I think is probably medium based. You have to just practice more. It's one of those things. The more you do it, you probably got really used to drawing and you got good at it and you're comfortable with it, but then you're moving into a new medium and all of a sudden you're struggling. And people all of a sudden when they struggle, they like, what's going on? And they don't like that. But, there's going to be a certain amount of struggle when you're changing mediums, especially when you're going from a drawing medium to a painting medium. It's just, they're two different things. And so once you start getting the hang of that medium, then you'll start getting comfortable again. So just be patient, but keep working at it. And people hate hearing that, but that's really the best advice I can give you, is just to continue doing what you're doing, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. So often that's the answer to every question that I get regarding getting better with something, or if someone's struggling with something. You just have to do it a lot in order to get through that struggle.
What Disney film would you have wanted to work on that you didn't get to work on?
Zootopia. I really love Zootopia. Would love to have worked on that. And going back in time, I would have loved to have been able to work on Bambi.
YouTube question. Hey guys, have you seen the images out of Hawaii this morning? The Mauna Loa volcano is erupting as we speak. Sorry if you've already answered this.
No, I haven't. Haven't seen them. Now, I know it was,
Mauna
unless
Loa.
I'm thinking of the another volcano. That one's been erupting for a while. Actually, I have some friends that live in Hawaii, and they called me over Thanksgiving, and I missed their call, and I just realized I owe them a phone call. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, it says largest volcano on Earth. First time it's erupted in 40 years.
4 years, right?
40, yeah, 40.
40 years? Is that what it just said? 40 years?
Yeah, 40 years.
Oh, wow.
It's the largest volcano. Not super volcano, just volcano.
Yeah. Volcano.
A volcano.
A volcano.
Volcano.
We're slowly getting there, folks. Animating, watching people animate, it's like watching grass grow, I always say. I always get so paranoid when I do animation demonstrations because it just takes a certain amount of time. And they say, okay, you've got 2 hours to do this animation demonstration. Well, there's only so much you can animate. I can animate a few seconds worth of animation in 2 hours if I'm going really loose with it. But it's still slow. And I always get paranoid of it being boring. I've mentioned this a lot on here. But I can't think of another art form there's a lot of different art forms that are like this. I shouldn't say it that way. But this, when you watch the finished product, this will be 10 minutes. But the amount of work that goes into 10 minutes of film when you're doing 2D animation, full animation like we're doing, you're creating every little image that goes by in a 1/12 of a second.
The last
it's a labor of love for sure.
Yeah, the last eruption was back in 1984, roughly 40 years ago.
Yeah, 38 years ago.
YouTube question. If you had to pick your favorite project you worked on, which would it be?
I got several. So Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, and Brother Bear. I loved working on Lion King.
And on Facebook, do you prefer Scooby-Doo, Yogi Bear, or Fred Flintstone?
Ugh. I'm not huge fans of any of them, but to be honest with you, probably Yogi. I like Yogi.
Hey, boo-boo.
Yeah.
I watched more of the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I watched Scooby-Doo. I never was a huge fan of it. I really loved when I was a kid, watching the Warner Brothers cartoons and then the Super Friends, the Justice League.
And it looks like from YouTube, I've gotten a request to do my Arnold impressions.
Oh no.
Hi, how are you? It is very nice to meet you. We got to get to the chopper. Let's go! I think my favorite, when it comes to all of his puns or one-liners, my favorite is always from the movie Predator, where he throws a knife at the guy and goes, "Stick around."
Yeah.
Of the 9 old men that you haven't met yet, which one of them would you have wanted to meet?
Milt Kahl. Milt Kahl is my favorite draftsman.
Yeah, talking about the volcano, Martin says, "We don't need Yellowstone volcano to erupt after all the crisis."
No.
No, we don't. Did you like the Pink Panther cartoons?
I loved the Pink Panther cartoons when I was a kid. I loved them. I watched Pink Panther before I realized there was a Pink Panther live action. Ba-dum, 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 ba-da-da-da-dum.
And to anyone that is late into the stream, don't forget we have quite a few Cyber Monday deals going on right now.
Yeah, why don't you go through them while I draw?
Yeah, right now we have multiple Cyber Monday specials, including the 3 new classes available for 50% off for their pre-orders, and which is the oil and digital portrait painting that's coming soon by Ken Sperduso. Animating on paper with Aaron Blaze.
That's me.
That's you. And we're planning on that one by January 1st, correct?
Correct.
And then also Design Stylization with David Coleman. And that's going to be late, I think you said February?
Something like that. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Nick will be able to put it in the comments.
Yeah. But, yeah, so be sure to go over to creatureartteacher.com and be sure to get pre-order those.
Yeah, those are 50% off. So when they come out, they're going to be twice as much as what they are now.
Yeesh. And we also have Cyber Monday prints on sale right now. Don't know exactly what their percentage off is right now because I don't have that in front of me.
But they are signed and numbered.
Yes, signed and numbered, but you can order them at creatureartteacher.com/print. prints. We also have Cyber Monday $5 off of these 10 courses that are currently on the screen.
No, it's not $5 off. Those
Oh, no,
courses
that's
are
my
$5.
They are $5 each.
Yes, that's right.
That's
way
my
better
mistake,
than $5.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I think I made the same mistake the first time around.
I'm trying to cross a road that's a freaking freeway right now, but but these 10 courses are just $5, all of them. So be sure to go over to Creature Art Teacher and order one of these while they are at this price, because they're not going to be this price for a very long time.
Yeah.
We also have Cyber Monday art books, in which you can, for U.S. shipping, you can get the shipping for free using the code USA Books. And right now, it is $30 off of the hardcover books, including the volume 2 that's currently on pre-order, and 50% off of the 100 drawings book. And this sale ends tonight, so be sure to make your pre-orders, or make sure to get your orders while you can. And right now we're running pretty low on the volume 1s and the 100 drawings, if I recall. So be sure to get them while you can, because once they're gone, we don't know if we're going to reprint them. So there's that. And also, there's the Cyber Mondays even more special of a sale, which is the special code. If you use the code CYBER2022, you get an extra 20% off on already discounted lessons, tutorials, brushes, and photo packs. So pretty much anything that's on the site that's on the sale, you can get an even bigger sale using this code, CYBER2022.
Nice.
And also, we still have our special membership deal going on, which is give one and you get one free. So be sure to go over and check that out. And that is about it.
That's crazy.
Crazy. So much stuff. Nick says Rivers would like everyone to know that his balloon friend still has air.
Oh, good.
Still an airhead.
Just like Uncle Aaron.
No, I was going to say me. Just like me. Who is Mike Suri? And what characters did he animate?
Oh, Mike Suri is one of the best. I love his animation. I think one of his best characters that he ever supervised and animated was Timon, of Timon and Pumbaa fame. Timon from The Lion King, Mike Suri animated.
Oh, and Nick corrected me on Facebook saying that David Coleman's class comes out February 18th.
February 18th.
And that the prints are signed, but not numbered.
Okay, they're signed. Gotcha.
And Martin made a little joke about that, saying only 11 are numbered when they had problems with some kind of technology. 11. Open the doors, please. YouTube question. Great to see your live stream again. Last video you mentioned you're working on a background/layout course. Which movie contains your favorite backgrounds? Mine are the backgrounds in Bambi.
Bambi's one of them, and then Sleeping Beauty is the other. The background stylization from Ivan Earl. Sleeping Beauty's technically, I think, one of the best animated films ever made.
Yeah, it's a very, very unique style to it.
Yeah. And I got to say, not to, toot my own horn or anything, but I really love our background stylization that we did in Brother Bear. JG was one of our background artists. He was our stylist for the film, or production designer, and his background style, his painting style is what we really wanted to mimic. We loved his painting style, and which is a very loose, bold, chunky, which suits itself perfectly for what we were, from North American rugged, landscape. And so that's what we went for, and I think it came off rather nicely.
If the scene is supposed to have sound or dialogue, then how do you calculate the duration of this or that sound? And how is it written on the sheets?
Well, nowadays it's not written. It's basically out on the timeline. You have the sound wave form, and you animate to that. You can scrub. But back in the old days, we had track readers, and it was their job to listen to the sound and scrub it back and forth. And we would have an exposure sheet, and that sheet kind of represented every frame of film in a shot. And the track reader would listen and write out the dialogue according to what frame that it fell on this sheet, so that when we animated, we could tell what frame to make what mouth shape, if we listened to that dialogue. And that's how we did it in the old days. So it really depended on the track reader to read it right. And actually, in all my days animating, I never once had anything track read wrong.
Who was Mary Blair?
Mary Blair was a production designer. She had a very unique kind of flat pattern type style. Really, really great designer. She was an amazing designer.
This is from Paul Sharp on Facebook. Says, "Hey Aaron and Dustin, thanks for your kind support after my wife's passing. I started a large canvas. Is a 3x4 feet of a grizzly and other elements. Thank you for healing through art."
You're welcome, and keep, a 3x4 canvas. That's great. Dive into it, immerse yourself in it, lose yourself in it, and just keep plugging, man.
Yep.
I'm
keep pushing forward.
Yep, keep pushing.
What style did they use on films like Hercules, Atlantis, and Princess of the Frog?
What style? It's the style that you see. I mean, they're all. I don't know that you can name the style other than that's what you see, that style, and that's. I know in Hercules they had a specific artist who I can't remember his name that they were mimicking for the film. I wasn't on Hercules, but the style is what you see. I don't know. Like I said, sorry, I'm trying to get this looking right here. Princess and the Frog, I know they looked at a lot of New Orleans and things like that, but that was more just trying to get accuracy in the design. I'm not sure what I would say about the style. The style to me is the aesthetic. It's the way something is portrayed.
Yeah, and Mulan had a lot of inspiration of like what's that type of paint that they use to write letters and
You're talking about the kanji.
kanji.
Yeah, there was definitely brush painting styles in Mulan. Very Chinese art influenced. I looked at a lot of Chinese art and costume design, and the way people were portrayed during that era in the design work that I did. It's very flat kind of design.
Yeah.
Chen Yi Cheng is a Chinese artist that we had working with us, and he was a character designer. He was our main character designer, where we would run our designs. He did like the first pass of the designs, then we kind of took them over as the animators, and then they went back through Chen Yi again. The Chen Yi filter, we called it. And he would get them back in style. And then that's how we started our animation, using Chen Yi's style. Chen Yi put together a whole style guide, all kinds of stuff for the film. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Detlef's here, says, thanks so much for your reference packs of big cats, Dustin and Aaron. Incredible shots of cheetahs, and can't wait to make an artwork from those.
All right.
Glad you enjoy them, and really looking forward to seeing what you make out of them.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you, Detlef. You're killing it. Keep doing what you're doing.
I wonder what they use to draw backgrounds for Bambi.
Oil.
Oil?
Yep. Those were oil paintings.
Did you paint some backgrounds for Brother Bear?
I did not paint any backgrounds for Brother Bear, no. I did some animation for Brother Bear.
What is a frame rate and speed?
Frame rate is the number of frames that go through the camera per second. And that's also the speed. So right now this is 24 frames per second. That's what I'm animating at right now. So for every second that you watch this animation, 24 frames go through. Now don't confuse frames with drawings, because my drawings, each one of these drawings is being held for 2 frames. So you're seeing 12 drawings per second when you watch this. This right here, if I play this for you, that's 12 drawings per second. And so, point being is you don't have to do a new drawing for every frame in animation in order for it to look smooth. You can actually get away with slower animation, and this is considered somewhat slow. You can get away with doing 1 drawing for every 2 frames and it'll still work. So that's what I'm doing here. And this is just over like a second and a third. Not even a second and a third, it's a second and a quarter. 1 second and 1/4. We've got 29 drawings, and we've got 1 second. I'm sorry, 2 seconds, not 1 second. It's 2 seconds. 2.5 seconds. I was looking at confusing frames with my drawing count. So here's the size we're looking at. So eventually he's going to come all the way up, and get big. I think we'll just keep streaming until we get tired of it. Unless you get super hungry, Dustin.
All right.
But we'll just keep on drawing. We'll make this a nice live one, a long one, because I want you guys to enjoy it and go check out all of our sales. Let's go through the sales again, Dustin.
All right.
Quick.
Well, to start off, we have the pre-orders going on. Cyber Monday special.
For those of you just joining, we'll go through them kind of quick this time.
Yeah. We got 3 new classes available for 50% off their pre-orders, which is the oil painting course with Ken Sperduso, animating on paper with Dad here and Blaze, and design stylization with David Coleman. So be sure to go over there. And
so those are 50% off right now.
Yep, pre-orders are 50% off. And Cyber Monday prints, which they are signed. I don't know what the percentage off on them are.
I think they're just new prints. They're brand new prints that we've never. Well, no, that's not true. The one we have offered before, but the watercolor is brand new. We've never offered that before.
So be sure to go over to creatureartteacher.com/prints to make to order one of those. And also we have a Cyber Monday courses that are currently $5 each. And it's 10 of these
not $5 off. They're $5 each.
Yeah, and
which is crazy.
and it's 10 of these courses that have this deal right now. And they're the ones that you currently see on screen, including like how to draw horses, story for live action and animation with Chuck, and so on and so forth. And so all 10 of these are $5 each. So be sure to go over there and check those out. And also we got the Cyber Monday art books, in which has free USA shipping if you use the code USA Books.
If you're in the U.S., it's free shipping to anyone in the U.S. Just to be clear on that. Sorry, Dustin.
And not only that, it is $30 off of the hardcover books, including both the Volume 1 and the Volume 2, which is currently still on pre-order. And also for 50% off, you can get the 100 Drawings book as well. And this deal ends tonight. And then also, we have a special Cyber Monday sale code, in which if you use the code Cyber2022, it'll save you 20% off on already discounted items, such as the lessons, the tutorials, brushes, and photo packs.
It's crazy.
Everything will be 20% off extra if you put in the code Cyber2022. And also, we still have the special membership deal going on. If you give one, you get one free, which is, I think, probably one of the craziest deals for the membership we've provided.
So here's the deal. I mean, this is my whole motivation. When we started this 10 years ago, I stopped working in the studios. I was done working in studios. Got tired of executives kind of deciding my fate, for instance. And basically, I should say. And I wanted to do something good. You know, I lost my wife, Karen, Dustin's mother. I lost her to cancer 15 years ago. And I wanted to do something that I knew she would support, that she would be proud of. I wanted to just take a whole different change in my life, change in direction. And I started thinking about my mentor, Glenn Keane, who trained me in animation 33 years ago. Or no, 35 years ago. What am I saying 33? 35 years ago. And all the wisdom that he taught me, all the things that I learned. Then I started thinking about just all the different things I had learned throughout my entire career. And then I started thinking about, you know, social media and the way that we can share information now in a way that we never could when I started in this industry. And then I started thinking about the price of college and how angry I am with how high tuitions have gotten. So taking all of those inspirations into consideration, I thought, you know what, I can start creating tutorials, videos, and put them at a price point that everybody can afford. And I can combat, not that I could replace college, but I definitely wanted to supplement. And for people that couldn't afford going to college, I wanted to be able to provide quality art education for those that couldn't do it. And so that was our inspiration behind creating Creature Art Teacher. And we've been doing it for 10 years now. And I'm really happy with how it's going. And so that's why people ask us, why are you making your prices so low? You know, you're going to price yourself out of business. And to be honest with you, I had the faith that, you know, if we make it affordable for everybody, then more people will buy and everybody wins. And we create a bigger audience. And if you make if the first inspiration, if your first drive is to create quality, then that's the other part too. Always create a quality product. And so that was our big drive with Creature Art Teacher, is to create something that really people are getting the bang for their buck. You know what I mean? And so here we are 10 years later, and it's working. And I'm super happy with it. I'm super happy with the people we work with. I'm super happy I get to work with my son. I've got Nick, who's my brother-in-law now. I mean, it's amazing how this whole endeavor that just started out as a little idea sitting on my porch drinking coffee and wanting to do something good. And here we are 10 years later doing it. So I'm super happy with that. There you go. That was just my little testimonial. Oops. Gosh darn it. I love it when we get down to twos. We start getting that nice, smooth animation. It starts to feel like a bear, too. You feel that kind of lumbering weight stepping into that snow. That's fun. How you doing over there, Dustin?
Pretty good. Just waiting for more questions. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just waiting for more questions. Drawing.
John?
Just drawing bears. What are you doing?
What on earth are you doing?
La da dee 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 da 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 do.
Did you Did you animate any scenes in Brother Bear? And if so, which
Yeah.
ones did you do?
I did a few of the shots right after he woke up. So there's a shot of Tanana that I animated Tanana, where it's his POV or his point of view, and he's just opened his eyes, and she's at the river, and she's wringing out a cloth and stands up and turns towards him, and it comes into camera. I animated that shot of her, and then I animated him where after she's talking to him, he's saying, but I don't know where the earth touches the earth touches the sky and all that, and then when he first hears the chipmunks talking, you just talked, all that stuff. I animated all those shots of him. So there's about 4 or 5 shots in there, maybe 6. And I actually got a couple of those shots in my collection.
What is the brush you're using right now?
This is a number 2 pencil brush.
And it's is it default with TV Paint?
Yep, it's default. If you come over to the side menu, like this, and it's right here up under paper pencils, and it's the second one in. It's number 2 pencil.
Do you prefer Denali National Park or Yellowstone?
They're both very different. I love Yellowstone because of how accessible it is. And Denali they call the Serengeti of the North. And it really is. I mean, the amount of caribou and big game and bears and moose and everything else that you see there is pretty insane. But you have to take a bus in. You can't, which is great, for the wildlife. But as a photographer or painter, it's a little frustrating that you have to be bussed in. When we did our research for Brother Bear, we were able to get a car pass because we were making a movie, and they made a special exception for that. And I'll tell you what, being able to drive into that park was so much better, and we really enjoyed it. And we got so much more reference that way, and saw so much more because we were able to, move around and go at our own pace. It's definitely, I'm sorry, it's definitely more rugged and more untouched than Yellowstone. Go ahead, Dustin, sorry.
Out of the 8 minutes, 8 minute short length of this video of this short,
This is actually 10 minutes.
10 minutes. How many minutes have you already animated?
I'm animated about 2.5. So I got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound now, watch old bandit run.
YouTube question: was there ever a project you you weren't jazzed to work on? I was voluntold to animate a few scenes for a family Christmas project I don't want to do. Having a hard time to motivate myself to get started.
You got to find the thing that excites you about a project, even if you're not excited about it. For me, probably my least favorite, and I love the directors and I love the finished product, but the process of making it I wasn't crazy about, was Pocahontas. It was very restrictive. It was very held back. But Glenn Keane, who I worked under on that, because I worked on the character Pocahontas, he really gave us a good pep talk. He said, look at this as a positive. Because the animation's really held back, take that as a positive, and you're going to learn how to do much more subtle, held back animation. And he was right. And so, even though I struggled with motivation, I shouldn't say I didn't struggle with motivation. I struggled with excitement because I did just as much animation as I would have done anyway. But it just wasn't the most exciting project for me to work on. But you got to find that thing that will make you excited, and then exploit that and just run with it. His little crosshairs pop off right there. Put his little crosshairs on.
Do you have any favorite Glenn Keane scenes?
Oh, I've got lots of them. Lots of Beast and hold on, I've got right there. There's a couple of drawings that pop off. I like showing the crosshairs. There we go. All right. But I've got lots of Glenn Keane favorites. A lot of great stuff he did in Beauty and the Beast. I think that was some of his best stuff. Very emotional, Beast was a complex character. And he had a huge arc. And that's fun to animate.
Kyle on Facebook says, "Hey guys, now there's a Monday stream."
Well, no, we not consistently. Today's a special stream because it's Cyber Monday. And we got some crazy sales going on the website, and we just thought, you know what? Let's just come on and stream for a good chunk of the day. I've got a bunch of animation that I got to do. Why don't we just share it with everybody on Cyber Monday, and then we'll be back at it. The other thing I want to mention, I happen to be working on our animated short today, and everyone's watching this, but I'm not always doing this for everybody. And if you want to be part of this, and if you want to, because I stream twice a week, I stream for members only on our website. If you become a member at creatureartteacher.com, you can watch me make Snow Bear. You can watch the entire process twice a week. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm streaming and I'm working on Snow Bear. And it's great because it's a much more intimate group of people, and I can get to everybody's questions, and it's a lot of fun. And I enjoy it a lot. It's like having, folks in my office with me, and we talk about the film. We talk about all kinds of stuff.
YouTube question: how are animal eyes different from humans?
Well, a lot of times with animals, the biggest difference is shape, obviously, and then you don't see the whites of the eyes on a lot of animals. But we tend to change that and push that a little bit in animation character design. But it's not that, oh, I shouldn't be putting nostrils on yet. What am I doing? What am I doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing there, laddie?
That's probably the biggest difference.
Is there a specific shot or scene in a Disney film that impresses you no matter how many times you watch it?
Yeah, there's a few. Every time I watch Bambi, I've always love, especially when we see the big forest and we see Bambi's mother, walking through the forest, and it's kind of an introduction to that world, and it's so, I live on a 31,000 acre state park. My yard butts right up to it, and there's so many deer in there, and every time I go out and I see the deer, they remind me of this shot in Bambi, because it's so perfectly done, where these deer are just kind of, Bambi's mother is walking through the forest, and it's a wide shot, and we see her, and the forest is as much of a character as the deer. You can't have one without the other, and it's just such a beautiful shot in the way that it's stylized but real at the same time, and it's just great. It's just great.
Just great. Who did Glenn base Tarzan on?
Tarzan. No, he looked at a lot of skateboarding videos. I know that. His son, Max, was into skateboarding at the time, and I know he was looking at a lot of skateboarding videos from when he was kind of going through the trees and stuff. I don't know a specific person or actor that he based the character on. I know he was looking at a lot of images of people with dreads and how to portray that in animation, which made total sense that he would have dreads over the years.
YouTube question: did you work with April Winchell on Roger Rabbit cartoons?
No. I don't know who that is. I worked on the Roger Rabbit shorts. I worked on 2 of the 4 shorts. But I don't think I worked with her.
Martin Drug says, so basically Tarzan is the Tony Hawk of the jungle.
He is, yes. A lot of that sliding through the trees and on the branches and all that came from looking at skateboarding videos.
So on Facebook says, it's a pity that now I can't pay for membership and video tutorials on your site. The situation in the country and the block payment systems are the reason for this. I am from Russia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry to hear that. Hopefully the restrictions will lift soon. Hopefully everything gets better over there. Oh, April Winchell is the voice of Baby Herman's mother.
Oh, well, I never worked with her directly, but I animated her for sure. I couldn't remember her name, so thanks for that.
Yeah, and Nick was texting me that.
Yeah. No, I never worked with her directly, but I definitely worked with her voice because I animated Mom in several shots.
Did you animate her in the same scene while Rabbit was swinging around in the ball?
In the tree, you mean?
Yeah, in the opening.
Yes. Where she's skipping and all that, I animated all that.
All that, and also like she pulls out the knife on him.
Yes. And then it switched over to Mark Henn.
Oh, okay.
Actually, at one point she pulls a knife and then she pulls out the shotgun.
Yeah, she pulls out a shotgun. She's like loading the shotgun in a separate scene.
Yeah, that's all Mark Henn. He did all that.
Okay. I'm guessing it's because he's really good with hands.
No, it was just I did about the first minute of that short, and then it switched over to Mark, who did some, and then I did a lot of the beaver in there as well, or a good chunk of the beaver. I can't remember who did most of the beaver. The beaver was fun to animate.
I also just remembered that there's the whole opening bit, as I mentioned, like with Roger Rabbit swinging around, tied up in the rope, and with Mama walking towards him with the knife and everything.
Oh, that's right.
Threatening and everything. Yeah. But she cuts him down.
Right.
And then as she pulls out the shotgun, it changes angles.
Yes.
To where showing her loading the cartridges. But then it goes back to the same angle as before when he's holding the baby and like, here you go.
Yeah. That was all Mark.
That was so
the stuff where she cuts him down and he bounces, everything after that is Mark.
Oh, okay.
I had him hit the ground and then it cut, and then that's where Mark picked up.
So you guys just talked over like the placement on where he is and where she is.
Yeah, we just matched each other's drawings.
Wow, okay.
That's all you got to do. Communication, baby. Animation 101.
Communication is key.
So let's see how we're looking so far. Let's put this in perspective as far as how small it is. See, it's getting nice, and you'll see there's kind of like this random movement to his head. There's those back and forth, but then it comes up a little bit. And you kind of get that with bears. They're kind of always moving their head around. And so I wanted a little bit of that random feel to the way his head moves around.
Have you ever animated something around a piece of music that's been stuck on your head?
No, not really. I've animated to music, but not to anything that was stuck in my head. I've ended up animating to music that ends up getting stuck in my head because I listened to it so many times. So now you can see we're getting a nice sense of weight and walking. And so this is kind of a lesson I want you all to see if you're interested in animation, is when this is done, it's going to feel like a fairly complex shot from a mechanic standpoint, because we have this bear that's walking towards us. He's changing perspective. He's walking uphill. He's walking in deep snow, and he's growing in perspective. There's a lot of complexity with that. But if you break it down and start with the broad concepts first, you can work it out. And so that's the big lesson in this shot. When I first did it, I just worked out each key from, where each foot is like this and then each foot is like this, and kind of planted it, drew perspective lines that he should follow, and that really worked out his pace coming forward. And then it was just a matter of breaking it down from that point forward. And so then here we are with a bear walking up a hill. And we're about almost halfway through all of the in-betweens.
And Zelji says, hey, Aaron.
Hey, Zounji.
Question for you: how did you know 16s would be sufficient to see the basic animation in this shot?
Because I know that the pace of a full stride is about 32 frames for a bear. I just know that through experience and having done it before. And so when you break that down, half of 32 is 16. And so that's this stride and that stride. And then when you break that down even more, you've got eights, okay? And so 8 times 4, 32. And so then when you break those down, 4, so it enables me to go all the way down to 2s. But it goes to, once again, it goes to knowing that the basic pace of the stride that I'm looking for is 32 frames. Going at 32 frames per stride enables me to break it down evenly all the way down to 2s.
YouTube question. If I want to learn the anatomy of an animal, for example, if I want to learn the skeleton, should I draw the skeleton from picture and put measurements and proportions for it?
Well, I study my anatomy through whatever means I can. A lot of it is online. When I was a kid, I used to, not that I dissected animals, but I did collect roadkill and draw them so I could understand the way they were built. I've got a little bit of Wednesday Addams in me in the way that I draw. But I don't know that you need to draw the skeleton and take measurements. I think from an artistic standpoint, I think people get sometimes a little too caught up in the precision, being precise. It's more about looking at relationships and looking at masses and understand how the proportions of those masses to one another, and understanding that, and because everything's going to vary. I mean, we're in the same way that humans aren't built the same, animals aren't all built the same. So there's definitely room. There's a margin for differences, and when you're talking about a deer, let's say, just as an example. There's a lot of variance that you can put in there between, a buck and a doe and a fawn and the sizes of bucks and within that and the sizes of does. There's a lot of variation in there, but there is definitely proportions that make up a deer that you want to follow and then vary it up within that. And it's, getting to understand the anatomy enough to understand when and how to do that. So that just comes with a lot of, studying. And observation. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Twitch question. With drawing in between shorts, I sometimes forget the exaggerations of each movement, like leg, arm, neck, shoulder, hip. Do you have suggestions on how to attack them?
Say that one more time. I want to make sure I understand the question.
With drawing in between shots, I sometimes forget the exaggerations of each movement. Like the movements of the legs, the arms, neck, shoulder, hip. Do you have suggestions on how to attack them?
Well, I think you're focusing too much on movement rather than the motivation. What's motivating the movement in the first place? And once you understand and focus on the motivation of the movement, then that's going to dictate how you move it. So I mean, if I'm understanding your question correctly, because I don't really think about it in those terms the way you're asking it. I don't think about it in those terms. I think about what are we trying to get across in this movement, and that determines the movement itself. So it's the motivation, it's the acting. Don't think about your character as something you have to move. Think about your character that's living and breathing, and you're getting inside their head, and that's what you're trying to get across. You're just It's almost like Michelangelo. He said that he's not creating the sculpture; he's just releasing it. The sculpture is in the rock, and he's just releasing it. It's already there, and it's sort of like that. I mean, he doesn't. He gets into the rock and he knows the sculpture's in there, and it's sort of like that with your animation. It's the acting. The movement is just a representation of the acting that you're trying to get across, and the emotion. So once you feel the emotion, you feel that acting. The drawings that you put down are just representing that. They're already in there. I'm not sure if that's coming across clearly or not, but it's not that don't try to move things. I know it sounds a little heady, but don't try to move things in order to create the acting. It's envision the emotion first, get that in you, and then that's going to dictate the movement and the acting. It makes it feel less mechanical, I guess is what I'm trying to say, when you approach it from more of an emotional standpoint rather than a mechanical standpoint. That's when my animation really started to take a different turn, is when I started to approach it in that way. It's an emotional approach.
What exercise would you recommend to learn how to feel time in animation? My calculations and the final result always do not match each other.
Don't worry about. There's two different ways of approaching it, and I break those. You can think about it all at once, which I think is what you're doing, or you can think about it in two different ways. I don't worry about timing right off the bat when I'm animating. There's poses and emotions that I have to hit in the drawings that I know are going to be part of the shot. That's what I focus on. So I focus on achieving those drawings, the movement, and then I think about the timing of them. And it frees me up. If I have to think about the mechanics at the same time I'm thinking about the emotion, it tears you up a little bit. But you don't have to approach it that way. You can think about the emotion first and then approach the mechanics. And that's how I'm not sure I made that clear, but it's, if I have a character that is upset and, I got to get I want to, and it's moving in a certain way, I get those, I get the emotion first. I draw the expression and I think about, the path of action that it has to go through in order to get that. But then there's the pacing of that. And so then once I have the drawings down, I can play with the pacing in order to get it to work right. I don't think about it all at once. If that makes sense.
Zelji's mom's question. Do you work on this on most of the days you're not streaming?
Yes. Especially nowadays, I'll be working on this every day. And then on the weekends, we're going to have a busy month coming up because I'm creating my course on animating on paper. But I don't want to put a delay in my production of Snow Bear. So Dustin and I have talked, and he's agreed to help me on the weekends, and we're going to shoot our course on animating on paper on the weekends, and then I'm going to continue to work on Snow Bear during the week. So it's going to, my wife's going to be a little upset with me, I think, because we're not going to have a lot of time off. But it's something we want to get done. And, I don't like going as long as I will be going without creating any courses for the site. So I want to make sure I'm doing that. So my long-winded answer is yes, I'm work on this even when I'm not live streaming it. There's a little head drag right there. For those of you that are just joining us, it's Cyber Monday, and we've got quite a few sales going on.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and which is one of the reasons. Well, it's not one of the reasons; it's the reason that we're streaming today. It's Cyber Monday, and we want to promote our sales. And I wanted to share with you guys what we're doing on Snow Bear, and just real quick, I want to mention that if you want to see me making more of Snow Bear like this, you can tune in twice a week with me every Tuesday and Thursday over at creatureartteacher.com if you become a member. So, one of the added benefits to becoming a member is not only do you get access to over 600 hours of art instruction content, you'll also be able to watch us make Snow Bear, or watch me make Snow Bear, and you'll have access to all of that. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
And right now we have a current deal on memberships where if you give one, you get one free. So
that's pretty cool.
Yep. And if you combine that with the code Cyber 2022, you get I believe you get the 20% off with the membership as well.
As well?
I'm trying to think if the if the 20% off also works with the membership.
I'm pretty sure it does. I'm not sure. Dustin, or not Dustin, Nick? Answer the thing.
Answer the thing. Dustin, you posted a bunch of photos from your vacation. Any plans on a new reference pack? I'm definitely considering on making a second Florida wildlife group.
Yeah.
So
I'm also trying to get him to work on his photography course.
I'm planning it out for the spring because
I
that'd be a
gotcha.
great time for the sandhill cranes and with their
Actually,
cranes
that's
all-
going to be beautiful with the sandhill cranes.
Yeah, and most commonly I see them with their new babies around like February or March.
Yeah.
So I figure that'd be a good time, and also if we want to do like a wildlife trip to like Yellowstone,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good time.
Springtime is good for that as well.
So I've been playing it out. Just been doing it on my own. Yeah. So with that being said, as far as the photo pack goes, I'm definitely planning on one. Don't know when it'll be out or anything, but hopefully in the next month or so, more or less. And as far as the course goes, hoping to start filming around February or March and have it out by April.
That'd be awesome.
I think that's what the plan could possibly be. So fingers crossed.
Let's go through some of the other sales we got going on today, real quick.
Yeah. So for today's Cyber Monday, we got a special pre-order, which is currently going on. Any of these three courses that are coming out soon are currently 50% off of these pre-orders, and one is for oil and digital portrait painting with Ken Sperduso. Another is by Dad here with animation on paper, which is going to be all hand-drawn animations, just like the old days. Then the other one is design stylization with David Coleman, and all these three are coming out soon in the next couple months, and so be sure to make your pre-orders now while they're 50% off. We also have Cyber Monday prints, in which one of them is a brand new print that is available, and both are signed, and you can get these at creatureartteacher.com/prints. We also have another special Cyber Monday deal where all 10 of these courses on the screen right now are only $5. They're not $5 off, they're $5.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's including like sculpting with ZBrush, perspective drawing, charcoal drawing, which is a really, really fun one, and even digital painting in Procreate. Like all these courses on screen, only $5.
Crazy.
Freaking crazy. And we also have the art books on sale, including the pre-order of Volume 2. Both the Volume 1 and pre-orders of Volume 2 are $30 off of the hardcover books. And also for the 100 Drawings book, that is currently 50% off. And for anyone within the U.S., can get free shipping for these books using the code USA Books. And this deal ends tonight, though the code USA Books will still be usable for the Volume 2 pre-orders after this Cyber Monday. But also for Cyber Monday, we have yet another special deal with a special code. If you use the code CYBER2022, you'll get an extra 20% off on already discounted lessons, including tutorials, brushes, and photo packs. In which right now the photo packs, if I recall, are only $1 without the code. Yeah. So with the 20% off, you'll be able to order the the photo packs
For 80 cents.
for 80 cents.
That don't make no sense.
That don't make no sense at all. It's hundreds of photos really high quality photos too. For 80 cents. That's a steal, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to go over there and get them while they're that low.
Dustin's going, damn it.
80 cents and
Jade Price says, "Hi, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going, eh?
How's it going, question about color. When you start your color process with a painting, what do you think about and what do you try to remember as far as like the lighting, the shadows, and all at the same time?"
I didn't understand the question at all.
Oh.
Say it again. You kind of ran your words together. I didn't physically understand what you were saying.
Physically?
Yes. It's not that I didn't understand the question. You just went, blah, 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 blah. That's all I heard at the end.
When you start your color process with a painting, what do you think about it, and remember lights, shadows, etc. at the same time?
That makes no sense what you just said. I have no idea
It's
what
what I am reading.
but I'm not understanding what you say it one more time.
All right, let me try to translate it. What is your process in color when thinking about the base color, the shadows, the lightings all at once?
Okay, well, thank you for clarifying that. The process is that I think about it all at once. You know, light affects color, so that's the first thing. And I think of it in two different ways. First, I think about light and dark. So I'm thinking about value. So the first thing I think about is how light or dark a value is of a color. And then I go in and I think about temperature. You know, what's the temperature? Is it cool? Is it warm? Is it bounced light? Is it being grayed down? Is it more pure? And it's all about just understanding how light is affecting that color. So I'm thinking about light and moving from there. I mean, that's the best way I can explain it. But there's value, there's hue, and there's temperature. There's chroma, and then there's temperature. And so, you know, you got to think about all those things when you're approaching your color. And the other thing to remember too is that most times we're painting, you know, especially in nature, most colors are grayed down to some degree. There's not much pure color out there. And a lot of times we're painting in shades of temperatures of grays. You know, it could be, you know, a green gray or a red gray or a blue gray. But then you're also thinking about the temperature of that. Is it cooler? Is it warmer? And much of our color is that. So it's all of these things I think about as I'm creating. Now, when I paint these things digitally, it's a little easier because I can think about shadow separately and value separately from all of that because I can literally paint the shadows in. But when I'm painting traditionally, I have to think about all of that as I'm laying it in. And so there you go. That's my long-winded explanation. Sorry it took so long to understand the question completely, but there we go. Dustin's mad at me now. The silence says it all.
No, I'm just confused about something. I'm just going to say this out loud for Nick to help out. Someone on Facebook here wrote, I am having a problem with the code Cyber 2022. I am on my card trying to use the code, but it says maximum spend for the code is $10 USD and my card is $75. Nick, if you could give this person a hand on Facebook.
On the Facebook.
Oh, says Nick just wrote that it fixed it.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
So there you be. So here he is walking up the hill. That's feeling pretty good so far. I'm liking it. Feeling very bear-like. I'm happy with that. That was the big goal.
Yep, Manuel. He wrote, Dustin's voice is translating to hundreds of hours of work given up for just 80 cents.
Hey, I go through it too, Dustin.
Yep.
It just hurts when you only have two packs on there.
Well, if you're counting the individual ones, there's more like 6, 7, 8.
Well, how many different packs have you put in there?
Well, there's the complete bundles, but then there's the
I'm not talking about bundles. I'm just talking about your individual packs.
individual packs. See, there's the Birds of Florida. There's the Wildlife of Florida.
Oh, that's
There's
right.
the Yellowstone.
Oh,
Then there's
okay.
the big cats. Then there's the Wildlife of Africa.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
five.
so you got
But then
5.
you're counting but then they could get the full bundles, which is the Florida Wildlife, Yellowstone Wildlife,
Yeah, I got all that.
and Africa Wildlife. So 7-ish options.
I said I got it. Saving, saving, saving.
How many brushes can you hold in Photoshop? Can I load all of them?
Yeah.
All of them you offer, or will Photoshop explode?
No, it won't explode at all. I've got hundreds and hundreds of brushes in my
It's
collection.
It's really a matter of how much storage your computer has.
Yeah, but brushes don't take up a lot of space.
They only take up like kilobytes, if even.
A few of them that have a fair amount of what's the right word? Have to do with that they do a lot of different things. I don't know what the word is.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
It's Monday. We'll just say it's Monday. It's a Monday thing.
Yeah.
We're not used to streaming on Mondays. Remember when we used to do
Monday.
Wasn't it that we used to stream on Mondays, or was it that we used to stream on Tuesdays?
Tuesdays.
Back in 2020.
Yeah, when we were doing the 2 a week during the
Yeah,
COVID.
2 a week.
Now we do 3 a week. Remember we stopped doing 2 a week because it was getting to be too much?
Yeah.
Now we're doing 3 a week.
Well, right now this.
Well, we're doing 3. Actually, we stopped doing the 2 because I wasn't able to get to my regular work. I was trying to get courses done. Now my regular work is Snow Bear. So it's really not cutting into work. It's just showing you what I'm working on.
Well, it was not only that, but also the fact that we were streaming so early in the morning, and during the Tuesday streams.
Oh, that's right. They were like 9 o'clock or something?
Yeah, like we would start the stream at 9,
Oh, yeah.
which would mean like we would have to be up and getting prepped like by 8,
Yeah.
8:30. Any plans to visit Boston area in the near future?
No. No plans. My sister lives up there. I definitely want to get up there at some point, but we just don't have any plans right now. Boston.
What did you think of the movie Joker from back in 2019?
I liked it. With Joaquin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. having worked with Joaquin in the past personally, he must have been, yeah, quite the. It's interesting working with Joaquin because sometimes when he doesn't feel it, it's hard to pull it out of him. You got to really work with him to pull it out of him. And I can imagine with Joker, it's such a, internal character. I can only imagine him on, struggling through that character because it would be a struggle. He's a very serious actor.
Nick Rose saying, when we do our Snow Bear tour, Boston is a strong candidate for a stop.
Oh yeah, because we are going to be doing a Snow Bear tour. We're going to kind of go on the road with it and do Q&As and.
We're doing the old tour bus with a giant snow bear printed on the side. And people are going to be driving by going, is that a Disney bus?
Yeah. So trying to get that transition of his direction nice and smooth. The other thing too is you don't want to forget the back legs. Those back legs, you got to feel those back legs walking just as much as those front legs. Even when you can't see them, you got to kind of feel it. So I want to make sure that that's getting kind of put in there the right way. All right, slowly but surely we're getting there. How's your stomach doing, Dustin?
It's growling a bit, but nothing I can't handle. I was actually going to ask if you have any croissants or cookies. So I could just
I definitely
snack on.
I have snacks.
Yeah, sure.
I got some. How about some aspirin? I've got some aspirin for you to snack on if you want.
Who wants to buy some aspirin?
I got a couple of Tic Tacs.
I could go grab myself a drink. Do you want a drink?
You know what? I would love a drink. I would take a soda water, a tangerine flavored soda water, please. How about some aspirin? Do you see the soda water? The one in the big container right there?
Are these Mr. Pibbs for somebody specific?
Nope, they're for you, baby. Yeah. Thank you.
Puts on neck. Like steam escaping. When an animator comes to a project, how does he or she fit into the overall animation style? I mean, not the style of the drawing, but the style of the movement itself. After all, the styles of the movement and animation are different. I hope I expressed myself correctly.
You did, and that's a good question. Actually, we talk about it. We talk with the art director. We talk with the directors. We talk with the supervising animators. If you're not a supervising animator, as a supervising animator, you have to know about all of that. You got to be prepared to be able to teach that to the other animators coming on. As a supervising animator, a lot of what we did was teaching. I think that's one of the reasons why I love teaching now, is because I did so much teaching, when I was at Disney. And it forces you to define what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it. And you have to be able to answer those questions. And so, how we're moving something is just as valid as, from a stylistic standpoint, is just as valid as why we're moving it. You should be able to ask, why is a shot in the scene? Why are you moving it in this way, stylistically, mechanically, all of that? You should be able to answer all these questions. That's a good question.
Was there any subjects you found particularly hard to draw or took a long time to overcome? You seem to be able to draw everything.
Well, subtext, you might be, subtext is something different. I try to get subtext in my acting and in my writing, but that's, sometimes, a character doing something is not necessarily what they're saying, but it is what they're saying. It's the subtext of what they're saying. So that is particularly hard to write and to act, but it adds a lot to the performance. Let's say a character doesn't want to leave, but he's going through all the motions of leaving, but the subtext should be...
Subjects, not subtext.
Oh, subjects. Okay, there you go. I was going to say subtext is a little different. It's actually very different. So ask me the question again, now that I've completely lost myself.
Sorry. Was there any subjects you found particularly hard to draw or took a long time to overcome?
No, everything has its own challenges as far as drawing. For me, I approach everything the same way. So it's not necessarily the subject matter. Although some subjects are more complex than others, and if that's what you mean, as far as animals go, I was directing for a while. The film never got made because the company went bankrupt, but I was doing a film with elephants called The Legend of Tembo. Elephants are particularly challenging to draw at first, and it's understanding their anatomy. There's a lot of complexity there, and trying to get that complexity with at the same time creating fluidity and grace. Sometimes that's hard to do with an elephant. And so there's definitely different challenges, but you look at each subject matter individually and you just approach it. It's once you come to understand the anatomy, the gesture, and all of that, whether it's an animal, a human, an inanimate object, whatever, then you can start to create it a little better. So it just takes time. But yeah, sure, there's certain ones that are harder than others.
Customer writes, do you know, Aaron, people watch the Flintstones in Abu Dhabi?
Nope, I didn't know they watched the Flintstones in Abu Dhabi. to be honest, that's not something I've really ever thought of. That's pretty cool.
Was not expecting that.
They watch Abu Dhabi and hear Yabba Dabby Doo in Abu Dhabi.
Yabba dabby doo.
Abu Dhabi Doo.
YouTube question. I'm working in the industry as a storyboard revisionist, and I just had my second child, 2 kids under two now. I am struggling with my job and hitting the deadlines with home life. Any advice?
Yeah, it's tough it out or make a change. I mean, there's no advice other than try to stick to a really strict schedule. That was the best thing I could do. Hopefully, you have a partner that's able to help out with the kids and everything else. I did most of my work after my kids went to bed, my extra work. So I had, I'd wait for them to go to bed. So basically, I would start after I finished my Disney day, and I got home from work and I got the kids to bed. Then I would start my painting day, which started at 9 o'clock every night. And I was very strict with that schedule. But I was also very strict with, taking time off. I only worked Monday through Friday with either one, with the job that I kind of put on myself and my regular job. It's important to take time off, to give to your family and to give to yourself. I hope that helps. I don't know what else to tell you other than it's just straight up hard, which I know. All right. Oops. The drawings are getting a bit more complex now because they're getting bigger.
Twitch question. Do you have a favorite character or animal to draw, like when you're just doodling?
Yeah, big cats, big animals, big cats, bears, big dramatic animals. Those are my favorite, and I love to animate them as well. That's why I really dig doing this animation.
YouTube question. Any chance of a video of you playing your instruments? It would be great to see what you can play.
Maybe someday. I haven't touched my guitars in so long. I've lost all my calluses. I always say, drawing every day, you got to exercise the creative muscle that makes up your drawing, and it's the same with music. I'm starting to lose a lot of what I used to be able to play. So I got to get back in there, and I used to play every day, and I haven't been playing.
When working on a scene like this, how long does the color take to apply versus the keys and breakdown stage?
Oh, the color stage is a fraction of time, because one of the great things about TV Paint is that you can, if all the lines are closed off, which is why I get very meticulous about closing everything off, I can touch and fill. So it becomes very, very quick.
Another YouTube question. I want to practice animating and am fairly new to it, but I struggle to stay focused. Do you have any tips for new artists in terms of trying to pace ourselves or ways to create a suitable schedule?
Well, just know that animation requires time. And so you got to schedule, it's hours at a time. I've been sitting here for 3 hours now, and I've only gotten a couple of seconds done. So, you've got to dedicate hours and hours of time towards it. So schedule it accordingly. Just know that's just how it's gonna go. I don't know how else to say it other than that. When I was at Disney, if we weren't in crunch time, we were basically at our desks 8 hours a day and animating for 8 hours a day, minus, bathroom breaks and taking a break for lunch and our 15-minute breaks that we would take. And we always, Mark Henn, who's one of the great animators at Disney, and he's still at Disney, he always used to tell me, he says, the best way to influence a movie is to get the most animation in it, and the only way you can do that is to be at your desk and animating. And that's how we did it, and that's how you have to do it in order to learn animation.
Jade asks a silly question, or maybe it isn't, but what is the creative muscle?
Your brain. It's your brain. Teaching your brain to work creatively with less and less work. And that just takes time. It's the muscle between your ears. All right, let's look at what we got here. Yeah, I like those little head movements in there. Starts to feel bear-like, You can almost hear them. Or
One of our directors always joked that an animator should have an iron butt because he sits on it all the time.
Oh, yeah. Forget about the hemorrhoids. Maybe I got a little too personal. Yeah, a lot of guys sit on donuts. I don't mean the donuts you eat, I mean the inflatable donuts. There we go. So that the mechanics of him coming up are starting to feel pretty good. There's right there. See his kneecap disappeared? Right there, that drawing. Right there. Boop. His kneecap disappeared. Looking for little places. It disappears again. Right there. See that? His kneecap disappeared.
Oh dear.
There's little things that you forget to draw as you're going. There we go. Disappeared right there too. Boom. Kneecap disappeared.
Is this the scene where Snow Bear looks up at the fox?
Looks up at the geese.
Geese.
At the geese. This is later on. This is about a minute and a half later. Oh, about a minute later. All right. I want you to feel that weight as he's putting his feet into the snow. Feel it, feel it. Maybe go until about 2:30 and then we'll call it because I'm getting a little hungry myself.
Around tooth hurdy.
Tooth hurdy. Dennis' favorite time. So remember, if you want to see more of us making Snow Bear, we plan on sharing the entire process. Now, I'm not going to share everything. I want some surprises as far as story goes. But as far as the process goes, you're going to see everything. We're going to share the scoring, the everything that we can. We're going to share with you guys. Nice. Nice one there, Dustin. Proud of you. Awfully proud of you.
A YouTube question. Would you recommend acting classes for animators?
Yes, absolutely. I took acting classes. I took improv classes. It really did help my animation. But I don't know if I finished my thought, actually, going back. If you want to see the process, go on over to creatureartteacher.com and become a member because you'll get all of our lessons, but you'll also, as an added value to becoming a member, I wanted to give members the access to watch us make Snow Bear. So there you go. Added value, baby. Baby? Hello, baby.
Oh, Berber. Oh yeah, speaking of the memberships that you just mentioned about, we do have the two. We have the give one get one free.
Yeah, baby.
For memberships currently going on.
Give one, get one.
So definitely a perfect time to get one and give one to a friend so you can get an additional one for free, and so you can all together can join in on the.
I think there's ways that you can get one too.
Yeah, you can give
Save
one.
it
You
for
can get
yourself.
one for yourself, and be perfect for the Tuesday and Thursday streams. To joining us on that, as well as being able to have access to all the lessons and courses and everything.
Oh, I think I forgot something here now that I'm drawing it. Yeah, look at that. I forgot his mouth. Look
Did I
at.
already ask about the acting classes?
Yep. I took improv classes.
What animals were uh,
Harm during the making of Snow Bear? None. What animals what?
I was sorry. What animals were the most dangerous in the Masai Mara?
Probably the hippos and the Cape buffalo. Those are the most dangerous.
Which habitat in South America is your favorite?
Well, I love the Amazon. I've never been. I really want to go to the Amazon. But the plains down there are pretty amazing too. You know, there's some scrublands and plains and some of those, they're pretty awesome. That's in Argentina as well.
They're all out of questions.
I'm all out of questions.
I'm all out of questions. All out
You're
Don't know how to read. Read for so long.
such a goof.
Do you know who animated Kida in Atlantis?
No, I don't. I didn't work on Atlantis. I know Michael J. Fox's character was animated by John Pomeroy.
I forgot, was Atlantis before or after Brother Bear?
Oh, before.
Before. It was in 2001?
I'm not sure. You have to look it up. I can't remember specifically. Oh my gosh.
$2001.
There you go.
Yep.
A Space Odyssey.
Premiered June 3rd, 2001.
And we came out 2003.
Yeah, it premiered June 3rd and released to the United States June 15th.
Oh, gotcha. Kirk and Gary's second movie after Beauty and the Beast. Kirk Wise and Gary Trousdale.
YouTube question. May I ask what are your thoughts on the trading card game industry, like Magic, the Gathering, and so on?
I don't have an opinion. I know nothing about it. Unfortunately, I just don't know anything about it. That's after my time. I'm an old guy. There's some things I'm just out of touch with. And that part of the world of entertainment, I'm just out of touch with. Do you know much about that stuff, Dustin?
Very, very little. Like, I have friends that played a lot of card games, but actually, I grew up with the Pokemon card game. I did collect that growing up. But as far as like Magic the Gathering or any others of that sort, like Yu-Gi-Oh, not so much.
Is that the same as role-playing games? Like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff?
Not necessarily.
And by the way, don't confuse being out of touch with having wisdom. Because I'm out of touch on a lot of stuff. But I know stuff.
I mean, it's not like Dungeons and Dragons per se. I would say it's more like the tabletop games in a way, kind of like what the games I played, like Warhammer.
Oh, when you were a kid? Yeah.
Yeah, because you're collecting all these items, in which cases a deck of cards, and all these cards have different characters or power-ups or special abilities you can use.
Mm-hmm.
And then you create a deck out of it, a stack, in which you use to battle with, and each side takes turns. But I think the reason why that's the question about the card game is because of like the artwork,
Right.
that comes into a lot of these card games.
Yeah, I'm sure. I just don't. Yeah, I don't have anything to do with any of that. Seems like it's a good opportunity to create some great art.
Well, in fact, I think the Nifty that you worked on with the fish.
The NFT?
Yeah, with the fish fighters.
Yeah.
Wasn't that for a card game?
No, it was just for an NFT. They may have created a card game for it, but I'm not sure. But we didn't really do much with that. And
when a big cat walks, it has a noticeable movement of the shoulder blades.
yes.
How exactly does it work? Does a big cat lower its paw at the moment of transferring weight to this paw? The shoulder blade becomes visible because the body kind of sags down of its weight for a moment.
Yes, shoulder blades on the shoulder blades on four-legged animals, or actually the shoulder blades in general, are only attached by muscle and tendon. They're not bone to bone, so they float. They float around, and so when a big cat, for instance, let's say a cheetah, because it's really visible on a cheetah, when they're just standing there, they both stick up because they're taking the weight on both feet. But when you transfer the weight, if you take the weight off of one foot, that shoulder blade's going to drop on the foot that has gone off the weight, and the one that holds the weight, the shoulder blade stays up. And so as a cat walks, as each foot takes the weight, the foot that's taking a weight will push the shoulder blade up. The one that comes off the ground, well, the shoulder blade will drop because it's sagging, hanging by muscle and tendon. And that's why you get this shifting back and forth in the shoulder blades. But a lot of four-legged animals have that, but just to varying degrees. Like a bear has that, but it's very, very subtle. And so, and it's mostly in the fur. You see the fur go back and forth. And so I chose on here not to really push it if you watch him walking, you don't really see it at all. But in reality, there would be a little bit more than what I'm showing. There would be a push in the shift in weight on the shoulder blades, right here. But I just kept it pretty solid, because like I said, it would be in the fur that you would see the movement back and forth. All right, why don't we finish this drawing, and then we'll call it for today. So while I'm drawing this, Dustin, why don't you one more time, for those of you that just came in maybe, or you just came in the last 20 minutes, we've got a lot. It's Cyber Monday, which is why we're doing the live stream today. We've got a lot of sales going on.
I think somebody just knocked on the door.
I think it was the, can you go check it? I think it was just a delivery. Sorry, folks, we just had someone knock on the door. We got to find out if it's just a delivery. Yeah, it's just a delivery. Don't worry about it. We'll get it later. But it's Cyber Monday, so we've got a lot of sales going on today. And one of them is, I want to talk about it because you'll be able to watch, if you become a member on the website, at creatureartteacher.com, you'll be able to kind of join us every Tuesday and Thursday as we make Snow Bear. And right now we're running a special on, if you get one membership, you get another one that you can give away for free.
Yeah, you give one, you get one free.
You give one, you get one.
And so we got that deal going on, and with that you get quite a lot of perks when you become a member, as Dad just mentioned, including those of like getting the being able to have free access to all the courses, brush packs, everything, as well as being able to hop in on the Tuesday and Thursday streams as Dad works on Snow Bear.
Correct.
But
which they're always a lot of fun. I like them because they're more intimate. We can play music because I'm not broadcasting it, so that's good. So everyone gets to hear my music playlist, which tends to be a little old-fashioned, 70s and 80s type stuff. But hey, it's fun.
But if you feel you can't get the membership quite yet, there are still a lot of other Cyber Monday options available, including 50% off pre-order sale for 3 upcoming courses that will be coming out in the next few months, including Ken Sperduso's oil plus digital portrait painting, Dad's animation on paper, and David Coleman's design stylization. And all 3 of these will be coming out soon, as mentioned. But right now they are only 50% off.
Yes, definitely 50% off. It's a huge discount. You just got to wait for them to come out. It's the only drawback.
The only drawback.
Yeah.
But then also we got we also got prints that are brand new, and I think at least one of them is absolutely new. Both prints are signed. And you can get them at creatureartteacher.com/prints. So you can go over to check that out. And also, we have 10 courses that are only $5. Not $5 off, just $5. Very, very big discount here. And it's including all these here on the screen, like acting for animation, sculpting in ZBrush, drawing clear expressions. All of these are just $5. So go on to Creature Art Teacher and look around for those sweet deals. We also got the art book that is currently on sale. Both Volume 1 and the pre-order for Volume 2 are both 30% off. Not 30%, I mean $30 off. There we go. And also the 100 drawing book is 50% off. And those deals ends tonight. And anyone that is within the U.S. Can get free shipping using the code USA Books. And again, that is over at creatureartteacher.com/books. I believe it is.
Yeah.
So be sure to go over there and check that out. And along with all these sales, crazy sales going on, we also have the Cyber 2022 code. So if you use that code, you get 20% off on already discounted items on the site. And that's including all the lessons are on sale, tutorials are on sale, brush packs, and my Photoshop, and all of our photo reference packs, like Dad's packs, my packs, and yeah. So go over there and check all of that.
I think you got it.
I feel like I kind of trailed on a little bit there.
That's okay. You covered it. You covered it, my man.
Oh, we've been forgetting to do that. We also have the live Procreate workshop coming up.
Oh man, we completely forgot to promote that today.
Yeah,
Idiot.
Nick just reminded me.
Idiot.
Thank you, Nick. But yeah, so on December 17th, we're planning on Saturday an animation in Procreate workshop. It's going to be 6 hours long on that Saturday. And it's just going to be...
That's a live event.
It's going to be a live event of you just showing how to work the animation on Procreate.
Yeah, so the motivation behind that was I did a demonstration a few weeks ago at Lightbox in Procreate, animating in Procreate. And people in the audience came up to me afterwards showing me their animation, and they had never animated before, and it was really good animation, and they were so excited. And it started me thinking that it would be really cool to be able to do this as a live event because so many people work in Procreate. And so that's what we're going to do. So like I said, December 17th, we're going to sit down. I'm going to take you through the principles of animation and talk about that. We're going to animate bouncing balls and a little bit of character animation and all kinds of fun stuff. And we're all going to do that in Procreate, and you'll be able to follow along with me. It'll be great.
And
6
if I
hours.
recall, I believe there is a limit to how many can...
Yes,
Okay.
we're keeping it to 300 people, and those fill. I know it sounds like a lot, but they actually fill up pretty fast.
Yeah.
And it's actually already starting to fill up pretty good. So at this rate, we're definitely going to sell out.
Mm-hmm.
So check it out.
And right now, is there a Cyber Monday sale with the Procreate?
I don't know. That one's a question for Nick.
Yeah, Nick, if you could answer that for me real quick. If
Not
there is
sure.
actually...
It's probably if you get it during checkout, you can get the. I'm sure you can probably get the 20% off.
Mayhaps.
So here's our animation so far. And it's nice and smooth. And it's just at the end there, I got to fill in the gaps. It gets a little bit clunky just because we don't have all the drawings filled in. But here's what 70 drawings will give you. We're up to 70 drawings for this shot so far. And, you know, the fun part is getting the head movement, getting it to move so that we're kind of getting this lumbering kind of feel. And I'm really happy with it. And I hope you guys are liking it. And I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. And hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and a great weekend. And hope you're off to a good start on your new week. A lot of you are probably back to work today. So anyway, I'm going to be back at it again tomorrow. If you guys are watching and you're members on the site at creatureartteacher.com, I'm going to be back at it. And you can tune in at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be animating again. So I hope to see you guys. And if you're not already a member, go on over and become a member, and that's one of the benefits you're going to get out of it, along with having access to over 600 hours of content. So go on out there today. Remember, we've got all kinds of great sales at creatureartteacher.com. And try animating, try painting, try doing whatever. Create some art and put some beauty back into the world, because that's what we do as artists. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks.
Cowboy Bebop.